What up, everyone? Happy Tuesday. Thank you guys so much once again for tuning back in. It is always appreciated. And let's get into another recap here. So, if you guys have paid attention to our channel recently, you'll notice that my brother and I have been on a pretty bad red streak, right? And the numbers have been extra red because I recently scaled. Last week was the first week I scaled actually, and obviously it didn't go well. So I just wanted to scale back down this week, my brother and I, because we both were thinking that it just really doesn't make sense if we're not doing the best to keep using more money. We haven't earned that right, and on top of that, it's just like we really basically just have to look at it like we have to drop our ego or anything, and if we're not doing well, then we really have to acknowledge it, right, that we're not doing well, and we have to try and mitigate our losses. So the way we're going to do that is if we find we're not being as consistent anymore, we can look to use a smaller dollar amount, which is what we used today. So today I was using $10,000. I scaled back down to how much I was using originally. My brother and I have been using $30,000, but today I went back down to 10,000, and I was able to end the day up $55 if you guys saw that. Our filled orders, we're definitely working on having them be a lot fewer in number, because usually our filled orders will be like 600 to 800 on the day, just on one given day. And my brother and I really want to change our trading so we don't have to take as many filled orders, and we can really just let some quality trades play out rather than trying to get in repeatedly, right, for a big move. So today I was able to fortunately finish the day up just under $60 on SQs, and I was down on the day $5 on TQs, right? And my filled orders are fewer, like I showed you. There's only 91, so you can look at them all here. And yeah, I just want to go ahead and talk to you guys about what went better today that allowed me to profit. So I'd say the biggest thing that has been preventing me from profiting, especially last week, was that the market, when it has days like today where it had a clear direction, right, a sell-off, or days like it did last week where it had a nice rally, these are days where it can be very easy to make money, right? Because direction is so one-sided. Like, let's say for today, for example, you could have just thrown your money in SQs as the market was falling, and you pretty much could have made money, and you were here this whole drop, right? It's a different story right around here, but for the most part, just like on this given day, the 27th of last month, you could have made money basically anywhere you threw money in TQQQ, right? Because it just kept climbing. And the days I struggle with are the days where it's choppy like this, where direction isn't as clear, and there's a lot more fake outs for which way the direction really wants to go. Because let's say I wanted to get into TQs thinking it was going to push up right here, and I start to average in, only for this to reverse on me, fake me out, I'll sell out for a loss, and then it really does start to go, right? It can just play with your mind a little with which way you think direction is going to go. And it's as simple as that. That is the reason why I have been so red, because I keep forcing trades, even getting in aggressively, only for myself to continuously keep stopping out. I don't take a huge loss on one trade per se, but it is a combination of multiple trades I keep taking kind of impulsively that end up adding to my big loss. So that's what I need to work on, what I need to basically figure out a way to avoid that. And one way is by obviously taking fewer trades, and I'm really just looking for quality rather than quantity, right? And so in regards to how the Nasdaq traded, this is when the market opened up right around here, and immediately we started getting some chop, right? We got to push up, push down, and I didn't really want to take part in any of this, because when the market opens up, I'm aware of the fact that the market has tended to be choppy the past week or two. So I tend to not buy in because I would get faked out in that. And it's not until I saw the market kind of find a support here and get rejected where I thought, okay, we might actually start selling off. And the reason why I say that is because I thought we were going to see some chop right around here in this area from the top VWAP to bottom VWAP, because we've been trading kind of sideways between this range since the 30th, right? And today is the 2nd of May. So it's been a couple days now, and on top of that, yeah, it's basically just been a strong channel it's been trading between, and that's what got me to think that we could see some type of support here. But when I saw that the market broke this level and it broke any other support level it's previously had around here, it looked good to me to continuously keep falling, right? Because there's not really another support level around here that it's trying to hold it back or anything like that. You can look at it on bigger picture time frames, right? It makes sense that once it started to fall, it made this lower high pattern and validated it. And once it broke the support, it just had a massive drop, right? This was a pretty steep drop, and you could have really taken advantage of it riding SQQQ up, right? Which I'll remind you guys time and time again is the inverse ETF. So it's going to act in direct opposite of the NASDAQ. So as the NASDAQ was pushing down all day today, you could have bought into SQQQ, the inverse, and made money just like I did. And the reason why I wanted to keep going with SQs was because usually when the market is choppy, it'll make a new low or something like that and then try and spring up. Anytime it'll make a new low, it'll try and spring up and really just try and find a support. And today I was definitely aware of the fact that there was a lot more selling pressure. The market, when it made a new low, didn't really look to just keep bouncing like it has the previous days it's been choppy. The market had a pretty steep drop, right, with this red candle. And once it started to break this support, it really confirmed this trend that it wanted to downtrend. And on top of that, you'll notice that anytime it had a steep drop, it tried to consolidate a little, but ultimately kept getting rejected by this blue EMA line here, and it kept acting as a resistance. So once I saw that, especially after it happened multiple times where the market tried to push up, fell pretty aggressively, consolidated, tried to pick up a little, but fell even more, right? When I see the pattern keeps confirming itself, keeps validating itself that it is falling, I'm going to do my part in continuing to go with SQQQ, because I'm not going to be the guy to try and predict when the bottom is going to be here. A lot of people, let's say, may have tried to get into TQs here with this big green candle, thinking this was going to be the bottom for a recovery, only for it to keep selling off. And they may have kept trying it and only have kept losing money, right? I just want to make you guys aware of that. It's usually in your best interest to always go with direction. And it's only until you start seeing signs that it wants to break the pattern that you're trading where you should start looking to maybe then change directions, right? That's when it makes sense. And I was basically able to make $60 off of buying in, averaging up, and letting it fall. And I just cut it somewhere where I saw some type of support, right? That doesn't mean it had a pop per se, but it does mean that it was just a little uncomfortable for me to keep holding because I don't know when the bottom is going to be. May have been here, right? And it would have popped up. May have been all the way down here like it was and ends up popping up. I just never know, and I want to do my part in selling where I feel comfortable, right? And that's basically what I did today. There was a lot more margin you could have made a lot of money on, and the fact I was only up $60 on it is a little bummy. But I am just getting the hang of things, right? I'm coming off of a pretty bad red streak, and I just want to make sure that I'm not being too aggressive or anything like that, especially on a day where I didn't know it was going to be so one-sided, right? Because it has been so choppy. But days like today are the days like traders basically dream for when direction is so one-sided and clear. It can be very, it can just be a very fun and rewarding experience, right? To make money when direction makes sense to you and everything is adding up. So yeah, that's where I want to leave you guys for as far as recap goes. Thank you guys once again for tuning back in. I am excited to have a green day in here finally, but definitely a lot to work on, especially with risk management and trying to trade the choppy areas better. I know a lot of you guys can relate, I'm sure, because it's a struggle for a lot of people to trade them. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys stay tuned for our progress. And yeah, I'm excited to hear from you guys, and I hope all of you were able to kill it today too. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.